The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation, make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels, operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Bend, Oregon, on your new fire apparatus, job number 32915. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Let's start just at the front bumper area. Under the front bumper, you'll notice there are 2 open-ended tow hooks. These are attached to the frame rail. Moving up onto the bumper face, you'll find on the passenger side an air horn. Moving to the opposite side, driver's side, you'll find your PA speaker siren. Moving up onto the bumper extension, you'll find 2 1.5-inch discharges. You'll also find 2 open storage locations for hose, and also in the center you'll find a tubbed covered storage location. Let's move up onto the grill. You'll find 2 forward-facing emergency lights embedded in the grill next to the Pierce logo. On the outer edge, you'll find your headlight composing of the low and high beam and turn indicator. Just on the outer edge, you'll find an emergency warning light. Moving up onto the top of the fender well, you'll find a marker turn indicator. Just up on the driver's side is where you'll find the air intake. As we move to the very center front area, you'll find the pull handle for tilting the hood. Let's move now to the windshield, where you'll find 2 windshield wipers across the front. Moving up onto the very top, you're going to find running lights located across the very brow of the vehicle, and you'll also find a forward-facing floodlight located in the center. Moving up onto the top of the roof is where you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Moving out to the outer edges of the door is where you'll find your mirror housing a flat and convex mirror. I've got a few close-ups of those images that might help get a little bit better understanding of what they are. You'll find that open-ended tow hook located on the front. On the outer edge, you'll find the ball valve for the 1.5-inch discharge. You'll also find, this is the driver's side, so you'll find your siren PA speaker system. Moving up onto the top, you'll find the swivel 1.5-inch discharge. This is water and foam capable. You'll find that tubbed storage location with dry deck material and also Velcro straps inside. Let's move to the center section. This is the tubbed storage location in the center. You'll find a divider and also dry deck material inside this area. As we move to the passenger side, you'll find your air horn. Moving up into the center of the grill area, you'll find the Pierce logo in the center. Also located on the outer edges are those emergency warning lights. Just to the side of the vehicles, where you'll find your emergency warning light on the side, air intake on the driver's side. You do have Michelin tires and also steel hubs. Moving to the step area location, you'll find your ultra low sulfur diesel fuel. It's the silver tank or aluminum. And to the very rear, you'll find your DEF tank with the blue cap. Moving up from that location, you'll find an air inlet. Got a close-up of that here. You'll find the air inlet, also shoreline inlet, which happens to be a 30-amp plug. Let's take a look at the cab itself from the side, where you're going to find your access point. It is door locks. They do have lock mechanisms. And then also for safety, you have your cab grab handles for gaining access in and out of the cab. As we look just underneath the steps, you'll find perimeter lighting and step lighting also per NFPA. Moving just inside the cab is where you'll find this yellow placard. We'll go over that in just a few moments. You have comfort controls here. This is your air ride for your seat control, and just in front of that you'll find the forward-backwards movement of the seat. This is your master battery switch. There is an on-off switch up in the upper corner on the right side. You'll find the blue C. This happens to be the battery charging system. This is your Pierce manufactured logo. This has the information regarding the job information, the 5-digit job number, vehicle information regarding gross vehicle weight ratings with cold tire inflation. It also has at the very bottom your VIN and also all the fluid types and capacities. You do have a keyed start with a green indicator indicating your battery is on.
As we move to the dash itself, we'll cover some of the items within this area. First, let's start in the upper left-hand corner of the dash with the speed control. Just down from that, this is going to be your cruise control for resume, exit, excel, and also coast. Moving further down, you'll find headlight and parking light controls. And then at the very bottom, you'll find an increase or decrease. This is for your speed control. Standard column functions for turn indicator and also windshield wipers. Located in the center, you'll find your tachometer and speedometer. Outer edges, you'll find the transmission, water, oil. On the far right, you'll find the DEF and fuel level, including air for front and rear. You'll also find diagnostic information that will display above the speedometer. As we move to the right, you'll find your air filter minder. Just beneath that, you'll find the Allison transmission pad with a digital readout. Moving to the far right, you'll find the PTO shift. You have a couple of green indicators here. First, your PTO has been engaged, and then 2 indications regarding OK to pump and OK to pump in motion. Those are the 3 indicators for your PTO shift. You'll also find in the very center a parking brake. It is the yellow handle. Pull to apply and push to release. As we move to the right, you'll find cab functions, including door lock and also window and mirror heat. In the lower section, you're going to find emergency information regarding your pump, high idle, and other information. As we move across the bottom, you're going to find your climate control. The vehicle is equipped with a fan control for front air conditioning and also rear air conditioning and heat. Let's move further back now to the dash area. This is including the center console. You'll find in the upper left-hand corner of the console near the driver's area. This is your siren and also PA speaker. You do have a digital readout inside the cab for your pump pressure. Moving to the right-hand side, you'll find 12-volt access for USB and also barrel style. In the very center of the cab overhead is where you'll find your emergency control panel for all of your emergency lights, and then just underneath that you'll find a red flashing light indicating that you have a compartment door or it's a do not move apparatus regarding something is in the open or ajar position. As we move up, we'll find the front flash, front flood, driver flood, passenger side flood, rear flood, and also perimeter lights. There's also an open door warning indicator. Down at the very bottom, you'll find emergency lights for your emergency master, roof light, high beam flash, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. Let's move now back just a little further in the cab area. This is just behind the fuel area. You do have additional storage location once these doors are open. Let's move back into the passenger section of the cab. You'll find seating across the back. They are SCBA style seats, which encompass an SCBA style seat. Looking overhead, you'll find over each of the seats push on and off white lights and also a cab light in the very center. Let's move to the midsection of the pump panel area. At the very top, you'll find your red line. You have the ability to tension, increase, or decrease that tension on that reel. Moving down, you'll find your cross lay. This is a speed load. Moving to the right of this location is where you're going to find your relief valve. And then moving up to the very top is where you're going to find the pump intake. And to the right of that, you'll find your pump discharge. In between the two of those, you're going to find an audible alarm. That audible alarm does have the ability to dampen the sound on the outer edge of that bezel. Just as we move down further, you'll find that once again, Darley relief valve located on the left-hand side, and then to the right-hand side, you'll find your FRC. This is your pressure throttle governor. Moving further down in the blue module is where you're going to find the water level indicator for your water tank. Moving to the right in the red module is where you'll find the level indicator for your foam tank. Let's move down where you'll find a green illuminating light. If your pump is properly engaged, it will indicate pump engaged. Moving further down, you'll find 2 capped locations here for vacuum and pressure. This is location for testing. Moving further down, you're going to find your recirculating line. Just to the right, you'll find a pump overheat indicator. If that light is flashing, it's indicating your pump is overheating. Moving to the right, you'll find multiple rocker switches here. They are independently labeled. And to the right, you'll find the tank fill recirculating line. Just beneath that, you'll find your tank to pump. Do note that the in is in the open position and out is closed. Moving to the far left is where you're going to find the driver main inlet. And then further to the right, you'll find an informational note here regarding your priming instructions that you should be at least 1,000 RPMs when engaging the fire primer for best practices. Just beneath that is the activation for the fire pump primer. To the right, the red module is going to be your Husky 3 foam system. This is the module that controls your foam system. To the right, you'll find also information here regarding your foam tank fill for draft, foam, and tank. There's a lever that moves on the right-hand side and just beneath it a fill location. Down the lower corner, you'll find your relief valve drain. And then also on the right, you're going to find your Husky 3 foam system specifications and also instructions. To the right, you'll find the valve for setting either pressure or volume control. Down at the very bottom lower left corner, you're going to find your driver's side auxiliary inlet. It is a 2.5-inch inlet. As we move further down, you'll find a backpack fill location. And then also as we move to the very top, you'll find the 2.5-inch discharge. Let's move underneath where you'll find your foam pump discharge drains. And then as we move just to the right in front of the rear wheel, you'll find SCBA bottle storage locations. And also to the rear, you'll find SCBA bottle storage location. As we move through, this is directly over the rear wheel. You have adjustable shelving inside. I would like to point out in the upper left-hand corner, let's cover the item here. This is when plugged into shore power, your battery charging system will activate. You also have a panel just at the very bottom regarding your circuit directory at the very bottom. You can see it's battery charging or engine heat. This is looking up at the very top of that door that lifts in the upward position. That is a pull strap. And you'll also find emergency warning light and also bottle storage location. Down at the lower section, you'll find the storage location for your folding wheel chocks. As we move up from this location, you'll find 3 adjustable shelves, LED lighting inside, and also a ventilated compartment. As we move to the very back of the apparatus, just underneath the tailboard is where we'll find a pull-out step location. As we move back to the back section of the tailboard, you'll find emergency lights, stop, turn, and reverse. You'll also find some warning labels here in this area that it's not advisable. This is a warning label to not ride on the rear of the apparatus, and that there's also the possibility of fall. You do have a direct tank fill located 2.5-inch at the very top, and also emergency lights and also scene lights located on the very back side of the apparatus. Let's move down to the very bottom at the tailboard location. This is the compartment at the very rear section. Moving back up to the top, you'll find you do have additional hose storage for your rear section, divider located in the center. You have also an extension ladder, long tool storage, and then also storage for your trough for suction hoses. As we move to the top of your apparatus, a fully enclosed hose bed cover. There is access here for gaining water and also foam access ports. This is the grub area or midsection of your apparatus. You do have additional storage location in this box, and also once again access inside the covered area for easy access to the water tank and also to the foam tank for fill operations. As we move to the next image, this will be the foam fill location, so you don't have to open the entire cover to gain foam access. Let's go ahead and move now to the rear section of the apparatus, where we'll find our brake, turn, and also backup light, in addition with an emergency light. There is also a warning labels here regarding not riding on and also fall injury. You do have a traffic advisor located in the very center, and then also 2 flag location holders on the passenger and driver side. Let's take a look at the side of the apparatus. Same configuration as the driver's side. We'll now go ahead and look inside the compartment space with the door in the open position, adjustable shelving, once again, LED lighting, and also ventilation within those compartments. SCBA bottle storage location and also emergency warning lights. As we move up from this location, directly over the rear wheel, you'll find LED lighting and adjustable shelf. Let's move to the midsection. I would like to point out just in front of the rear wheel, a warning label regarding extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures. Be cautious where you park your vehicle. You also have your relief valve, which indicates do not cap on the underside of your vehicle. As we look inside, once again, adjustable shelving, LED, and also panel access to the pump area for visual inspections. Let's move back out from this location to the side. This is the passenger side. This is going to be a 2.5-inch discharge. As we take a quick look through some of the items within the cab, similar configuration. Let's look at the rear section. We do have LED lighting underneath for your perimeter lighting, and then also a storage location here, double doors which will open through D handles. Let's move inside the cab now. We're starting in the rear section. You do have the seats across the back, which have the SCBA bottle system within inside. Underneath the seat located, you'll find storage locations under the bottom of those seats. Moving now to the front section of the cab is where you'll find a foot pedal, which allows the passenger to engage the electronic siren from a foot pedal switch. You'll also move, as we move inside the cab, it also has the ability for storage underneath that seat. It is a fixed seat. In the center console, you'll find, as we mentioned earlier, 12-volt access via USB and also barrel style. There are some warning indicators on the side. These are the audible speakers. There are 2 speakers here. They do have the ability to dampen the sound once again, and then just below that, barrel style 12-volt access. I may have mentioned earlier in the presentation 3 seats across the rear. There are actually 2 seats across the rear. Congratulations, Bend, Oregon, on your new fire apparatus, job number 32915. If you have any questions regarding your apparatus, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.